I'm just waiting, making sure that we are going live. I'm so excited to be talking about the dragons with you. So excited to be bringing the dragons into your life, helping you understand exactly what the dragons are here for and what you can actually do with the dragons. So hello and welcome. My name is Fiona Robertson and I'm the Dragon Grandmaster. So I'm communicating with dragons, and I have been communicating with dragons now for probably about 20 years. Didn't really realise that they were the dragons when all this information started coming through. But it is the dragons. Anyway, the dragons want to say to you, thank you and welcome for coming. They want to infuse you with a little bit of dragon energy today to help you understand that so much more is available for you. And they are absolutely thrilled. And they often say like, oh, we're tickled pink. They have a very unique energy. It's very grounding, it's very foundational, and it really helps you understand more about yourself, more about your capacity, more about your capabilities. And you're here because the dragons have been showing up with more intensity in your life just recently. You may be one of the people who have been seeing more dragons on logos or more dragons on pictures or images or films or books. It's like just more like, oh my god, why are there so many dragons coming into my life? This is amazing. Or you might be actually somebody that the dragons are calling on right now. They're saying, you, hey you, and you'll get an eye coming through, maybe like I did. You'll get this massive eye, just not wanting anything from you. There's no pressure, there's no force, but they're just looking into your world. So for dragons looking into your world, she'll be coming through in your meditations maybe. Maybe while you're out walking, you'll have an image, an idea that there's a dragon next to you, or in the forest or something like that. So this is often when the dragons are calling you. They have something specific that they want to do with you, and they want to help you bring that into the world. But either way, if you're curious about dragons, you are able to call them in as well. If they're coming into your world, if they've got an eye, or you see an eye in your meditation and you get an essence of a dragon, then they are in your world and they are calling you. So if dragons have been coming into your world with more intensity just recently, that is why I'm here. I'm here to help you understand the essence. Oh gosh, oh, it makes me want to cry. The essence of the dragons, because they are so loving, they're so gentle, they're so wise, and they just have so much to share with us humans. They feel for us. They say, we're here because there are massive changes going on the planet right now. And so many more people are waking up. If you're spiritual already, you're already aware of how some things work. You're already seeing through some of the nonsense that's being told and some of the things that are going on. And the dragons are really here to help you navigate that, to be really serene, to understand who you are in your essence, so that no matter what's going on around you, you feel really phenomenally strong. This is the purpose of the dragons. It's not too mystical, it's not too airy-fairy. They are solid, they are real, they are living and breathing entities, but just outside your scope, just outside your capacity to see. What they do, the dragons help you to expand your vision, expand your hearing, expand your capacity to love in such a way that the invisible becomes visible. So when the dragons are looking into your world or coming through the world, as in material stuff like images or films or books, you're just being called to stretch a little bit more. And this is what I do in my group in the Dragon Portal. I'm stretching people so that they can just start to see outside your reality. So we're here to create a new reality. The dragons are absolutely phenomenal to work with if you want to manifest things, if you want to understand what's going on in soul-to-soul communication. There is just a list, and I think I put a list in the in the group of just all the things that the dragons can help with. But it's not just mystical things. It is absolutely practicality, really practical, down to earth, everyday, mundane stuff, obligations. They want you to know that you are a spiritual being within this human flesh and bones body. And as such, you are able to do practical magic. One of the cards, one of the messages that the dragons gave to me, and this often comes up when I'm talking, they come through and just say that, Fiona, say that. So one of the things they always want me to say is, like the things of witches and wizards and druids and all these spiritual helpful healers and everything else, they believed it and they did magic, and the same as we can do magic, but they did magic just because they just didn't believe it wasn't possible. So there was such a strong belief. And this is unfortunately what's been chipped away at and released and dissolved from us humans, because we've been educated in such a way that's gone us away from believing in magic and all the stuff that we can do. One of the main messages that the dragons come through with is, you just don't know how powerful you are. And imagine when you've got a dragon at your back. I've got Roma here. She's the soul of this dragon. Roma she's a rose gold, and she comes through to me and she just nestles in here, and she's almost like, you know, if you've been given a new backbone and you're just so strong and so tall and feeling so fortified and so empowered, so strong, nothing you can do can go wrong. Even if you know, it's like jumping without a safety net. You'll always be caught. You'll always be held. This is what the dragons do for me. When the dragons came through to me, Roma wasn't the first one that came through to me. They came through to me as a team. Now, dragons are very social, and they like to be all together. Now, there's a team of dragons. Thank you everybody for coming in and saying hello. It's so nice. So if you have something to say or any questions, I'll try and get them at the end. But if any of this is resonating with you, please let me know. Give me some hearts, let me know. Give me some dragons. So this team of dragons started coming through. Now, the first dragon I met was Seraphina. And she was the golden eye that first came through to me in a meditation. She was in my third eye. She was looking into my world. No pressure. She didn't want anything from me. She was just looking. Then during our COVID experience, which was such an awakening for so many people, wasn't it? I was sitting on my settee at the back there, just going, what is it that you want? What am I here for? What's the point of all of this, you know? And they said to me, write your book, write your book, write your book. I was like, okay. So at the time, the book was called Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It was all about how we manifest things, how I change things around. And I started writing out all the stories. Then the dragons came through. So even when we do something, sometimes just in the background, they're just going, and there's more, and there's more. So we need to tell the world that there's more available for us. So the first dragon that came through was Seraphina. I met her in this massive cave. But the first thing I saw through all the light, all the golden light, that was just so bright I couldn't see, because she just wanted me to see her eye, and she was so loving and so patient. And eventually sort of this golden mist cleared, and there she was, the size of a 3-story house. She was massive. Her main message to me has always been, you, Fiona, don't know how powerful you are, and this is the message that you are to teach so many other people. Practical magic. There's so much more available. Stop settling for less. Stop settling for the mundane world and getting your knickers in a twist and overthinking things. Settle down. Understand what you're here for. Understand what it is that you want next out of life. Bring that message up from your soul. Let yourself hear what's coming through for you intuitively. Know what it is that you want and start putting it out there in great detail. This is one of the main things that the dragons are here to help you understand. You are the creator. Whatever you're going through right now is something that the dragons want to sort of dissolve for you. The reason you're going through it right now is because it's for you to see, oh, I was creating that. That was what was coming up in my thoughts. So let me go through the dragons that came through when I was talking to Seraphina. Let me bring you through the journey that the dragons have given me to share with you. So the first one, Seraphina. Now imagine that they're coming through, and this is Seraphina. She was a massive golden dragon, and I was able to, just in my energy form, just sit in front of her and merge with her and just take in all this information. I was having an interview with her and asking her all these questions. Seraphina's purpose is the big picture. The big picture. What is changing in the world? What's your part in the world? What is it that you want? What is for the good of all? What can you bring forth? What are you here to serve? What are you here to come forth with? So let's bring all of that out. But often what's happening is we're not giving it enough detail. We're not bringing it into our minds clearly enough. So this is the route that the dragons have actually laid out for us, so that we can see the way of the dragon. We can see, I can see now that I've been a bit cluttered, I've been a bit chaotic. So Seraphina is the big picture. She wants you to know how powerful you are once you set in your mind and make the decision of what is it that you're going for, how you're going to play full out. And remember, she's always saying this. She's always saying, you just don't know how powerful you are. So step aside and let us through, and we will show you quite how powerful you are. You know that you came to Earth at this specific time. You know when you came to Earth, although you forgot as a human, that certain things were going to happen, certain things were going to be happening, changing, and things were going to be different, done in a different way. And that's why the dragons come in at specific times when the planet, the population need to evolve. So what they're doing now is they're helping us evolve. I'm talking with my hands. They're helping us to evolve, to become more powerful, to become more serene, to see what's really going on with someone if you're in conflict with someone, or if there's a situation in front of you, a dilemma, and you're not able to sort of plow your way through it or force your way through it, maybe as you normally would. The dragons are here to help you go, okay, step back, find my space, find my power. Who am I? What am I here for? How can I navigate my way through this? So Seraphina, again, all about the big picture. She loves you so much. If you could feel the energy of Seraphina, she's the matriarch, by the way, of this clan of dragons. And she holds you very, very dear. She's always watching and she's always listening. And she always wants just the very best for you, as all the dragons do. The second dragon that came through to me was a dragon that said I could call her Tara. Now, Tara came to me when I was sitting on the beach. I was doing a reading for somebody's business, sitting on the beach. And I had this impression behind me, something that I couldn't see, but something that was asking me lots of questions. What are you doing? Why are you here? All sorts of questions. And then I started having a conversation with this dragon. It's going, oh God, so nice to meet you. What do you want me to call you? I can't just call you Blue Dragon. And Tara showed me very much that we have a myriad of choices. So many choices. So one of the main things that Tara helps you do is to pivot, show you a new perspective. So for example, if you're feeling pretty rotten, something's not working out for you, something's really stopped, it's stale, it's stuck, Tara will say, okay, so that's where you are, but where do you want to be? Show me in your feelings, show me in your descriptive words, where do you want to be instead? Let's just move you from one state to the other. And she'll get you to be very, very attentive and aware and mindful and in a feeling state of what it feels like to be where you are right now, so that you get the lesson, so that you understand what you've created because what you're going through is just something that you've been thinking about over and over and over and over and over again, so much so that you believe that to be the fact. Now, if you want to go on to the other hand, you want to go, I would like to be here. I would like to be like so many miles away from that. Like, so what does it feel like to be here? What would be the journey walking through all the physical states to get into this other state? Tara helps us pivot and say it's a choice. It's my choice as to why I'm feeling this as opposed to this. So Tara takes you on the journey going, it's your decision. What do you want instead? And so she will walk you to the next stage, the next phase of what's going on in your life. What is it that you want? What does it feel like? What does it look like? And then you're able to create it. So this is the whole journey of being able to create something. So Tara is a sea blue-green dragon. All her scales, she kind of flip-flops and waves between blue and green, showing you that you have a choice, showing you that it's you that makes the choice of how you are going to react and respond to the world. The next dragon that came through to me was Raphael. Raphael, he is like your dearest favourite professor. He is so exquisitely patient with you. If he was talking to me, he would say, show me more, Fiona. Give me more detail, Fiona. Tell me more, Fiona. And what else, Fiona? He was coaxing out of you or out of me or out of whoever's making a creation. What are the finer details? He shows me a big tapestry. So the big tapestry is what Seraphina wants for you and what you've decided that you wanted. But like you weave in different colour threads, you weave through. So Raphael wants all the different textures, colours, shades. How does it feel when you're walking that walk? What is it like to be in this whole tapestry? So like, give me the details. For example, if you go to a restaurant and you just say, okay, I'll have a salad or I'll have a steak and chips. Well, do you want the steak well done or do you want it red? Do you want the chips like this? Do you want the salad on the side? Do you want rice? There's detail. So we can't go around just being vague. So Raphael is asking you, well, come on, what does it smell like? What does it look like? What are the plates like? What's the ambience of the restaurant? The dragons are showing you how to take a big picture and funnel it down so that we're getting the finite details that mean the most to us. A lot of us about money, and Raphael always laughs about this, and he says, good God, you ladies, you just kind of go, well, yeah, I want more money. I just want to be rich. I want to be free. And he's like, well, it's not telling me anything. Like, what are you going to do with it? How do you feel about it when it's there? How are you going to spend that money? Who are you going to spend it with? What time will it give you? What are the details? So for example, are you going to buy Stargate lilies every week to put in your living room? Are you going to change your whole wardrobe? Are you going to buy a new car? What kind of car would it be? There's details that is missing when you're describing what it is that you want. And the dragons, if you want practical magic, the dragons are showing you the way to get it, to manifest it, to bring that about. They are really teaching us that your inner world creates your outer world. So we've looked at the first three dragons. We've looked at Seraphina, we've looked at Tara, and we've looked at Raphael. Now we're diving in a little bit deeper. We're going to meet Luna Ray. Luna Ray is a wingless dragon, but she is magical. She is white and she's like a flip-flop paint. Like you look at it from a different angle and she's all these pearlescent different colours. She's beautiful. And when you touch her, she feels like a snake. She's like muscle and she's warm. And her message to all of us is about feeling safe to feel again. most of us humans have got out of the habit of allowing ourselves to feel. Because if we think we feel is like, oh, I don't want to feel, because we associate feeling with being hurtful or something that's a little bit painful. But what happens is, and Seraphine has shown me this in great detail, when we say we don't want to be hurt anymore, we don't want to be guilty or shame or fearful or sad, all those feelings that we've come to get used to, when we shut those feelings down, we shut ourselves down into a very narrow band of feelings that we can accept. When we shut out all the negative feelings, all the hurt, the sadness, the fear, guilt and shame, all of those, so many more, aren't there? When we shut all those down, we also shut out the joy and the bliss and the capacity to love more and everything else. So Lunar Ray is helping us to understand how to feel safe to stretch our feelings. And if we can feel into what it is that we want, because the language of the dragons is not our words, not necessarily always our actions, it is how we feel. It's just a revolution of feeling, they want me to tell you. So how we feel about things. So if you were to say, I want a career standing on stage and talking to people. Okay, so how does that feel? Well, I don't know, I've never done it. And she'd say, so wear what you want to wear as you walk onto the stage. See the stage out in front of you. Walk the steps. Walk the steps onto the stage so that you are feeling it. So many people are afraid to feel because, oh, what if this goes wrong? Or what if that goes wrong? Or what if it doesn't work? Or what if I'm humiliated or made a complete mess of things? Because we can't feel it, we don't allow ourselves to feel it, we can't bring it in because we're just living in this very narrow band of frequency, of vibration. Now imagine if you could expand that and just show and communicate with the dragons what it is that you want to feel, then we're cooking with gas. Then we're on turbocharge because you're feeling it, you're radiating it, you're showing everything. So this is what Lunar Ray is all about, feeling safe in your feelings. She wants you to experience what love feels like. What does love really feel like? Oh, I want a loving relationship. Okay, but what does that feel like? Well, I don't know. Okay, so let's explore that. So this is the work that I do, is help you to stretch through every single aspect, making that tapestry, that art and the inner artist, of actually bringing that into fruition, bringing that to life for you. Lunar Ray is so gentle, they all are. They're so gentle, so loving. She's so supportive. If you knew that these dragons were like your cosmic parents, they're not going to do it for you. They're going to say, can you see where you are? Can you see what you've created? Now, let's change that around and create something completely different for you. Now I'm going to introduce you to Sovereign. Sovereign is the most serene, regal, strong, upright, powerful dragon, and she represents your soul. She wants more than anything else for you to be in touch with your soul, to be listening, so that when you have your soul as your ally, you can connect in with the soul of the dragons. You can connect in with the souls of other people. You can read them intuitively. You know what's going on. You know what people are thinking telepathically. You can be a medium and you can hop into somebody's energy and you can understand more of what's going on. You can look in the future and kind of step into the bubble of walking into that new job or that situation, and you can feel it with all of your body. Sovereign is at the very center, the very core of you. She's dragon number 5, right in the center of you. You've walked a lovely new path. You're determined to do things differently. Sovereign is very regal. She's the queen of who you are. She's empowered. She has you feeling phenomenally strong, that no one else's bad behaviour, criticism, judgment can ever knock you off your pedestal, because you know who you are, you know how strong you are. And because she's all to do with the soul and sovereign and regal, she is this most beautiful, velvety purple, deep purple. She takes you to places that you've never reached before. No other coach, no other action, no other program or course or education system has touched that level of you before, because this is your soul core, and this is where she takes you. And even if right now you were to say to yourself, to your soul, and you do eventually find out what your soul wants to be called instead of just saying soul. Roma is my soul, by the way. She is my better half, my non-human half. If you were to ask, please show me right now how much you love me, you would get a sensation inside your body. You would know that that was being a communication to you. That would be a sign. This is what sovereign brings to you. Takes you to places you've never been before. Reaches parts of you, like the Heineken advert, reaches parts of you that have never been touched before, that no other beer reaches, that no other action has ever reached before. After sovereign, we have most people's favourite dragon when they first encounter the dragons. Now, this dragon is Bloom. Bloom is pink, and she's like cherry blossom, but she's more of a camellia blossom. And when I first met Bloom, she was merged in with this massive camellia bush. So I was walking down the road quite quietly with my dog, sort of in thoughts of my own, and I looked up and I went, oh my God, this bush was just wild, unapologetic, untrimmed, certainly not bonsai'd, had never been cut in its whole life. It was just an expression of freedom, covered, absolutely laden with camellia blossoms that were about the size of my hand. And I just had a conversation with this entity that was within this whole untamed, wild, rebellious, unapologetic bush. And first of all, her name was Flourish, and then she said, no, you know what? She said, I'm Bloom. Blooming marvellous. And she's massive, and she just wants to be known for helping you go bigger, go better, go wilder, go stronger. Absolutely, absolutely no holds barred. Bloom is there to give you as much fun and joy as you can possibly manage. Bloom is always about how can you amplify what you're feeling? How can you enhance what you're feeling? How can you turn up the volume on what you're feeling, have more fun, have more joy, and experience more bliss and adventures in your life? Stop taking life so seriously. She is the dragon really that's going to take you to the next step. She's really going to hold you and coax you out of anything that is mundane, anything that is living a half-life, or feeling that you are just living your obligations or survival. One of the things that the dragons always are sharing with me is this generation, this time on the planet has never ever been done before. We've never done it like this before, Fiona. In the past, people used to go off into the mountains, didn't they? And have their spiritual experiences. We are now being asked to have our spiritual experiences here, with our feet on the ground, dealing with children, dealing with families, dealing with driving kids to school, dealing with washing the dishes, going to the grocery shop, dealing with finances and jobs. We are being spiritual, but we're living in the human, going through all the human stuff. And this is why that the dragons are here, because when you awaken to what's going on, it's not like poof, Everything is going to work out absolutely perfect from now on. You are awakened. You are spiritual. This is when you're going to need extraordinarily better navigation. You're going to have to be able to ask for help. You're going to be able to have to ask for, how do I do this? One of the main phrases that the dragons have given me is, and this helps so much, you know how to do this, please show me how. And when I leave it like that, maybe not instantly, but certainly later on in the day, the answer sort of pops up. These are how the signs come up. They come up in your Facebook feed. They come up in your Instagram feed. They come up when you're listening to a song on the radio. Like, I get it. They're coming up in a conversation. Someone says something and you think, how on earth did that, how did you know that I needed that answer? And this is how the dragons can sort of come in and influence the day around you, making the all day practically magic by giving you the answers and the responses that you need. After bloom, we have ceremony. Ceremony wants you to go, oh my word, look how much you've released. Look how much you've understood. Come under my wings. Walk through to the other side. Just before you step off the world as you know it. I don't mean death, by the way. Just before you step off the world as you know it, and you soar above it and you can look down and observe, just celebrate. Celebrate everything that you've manifested. Celebrate everything that you've created, everything that you've understood. Look at the family that you've created. Look at the job that you've created. Look at the health that you've created. What else could you want? What could be better than this? Now, this is the message that comes through from ceremony. You've been on a journey. You've discovered so much about yourself, and there's so much more to still be discovered. It is not like we get to the level of love or bliss and think, right, well, that's it then. I'm empowered. I'm extraordinary now. Like, there's so much more still to come. There's more magic. There's more things to be created. This life is not just for the faint-hearted. This is what we're here for. We're here to create. We're here to do things in extraordinary ways that have never been done before. The population is evolving, and we're here to serve that population who are evolving with some phenomenally out of this world magic that hasn't been seen before. Ceremony wants you to celebrate. Look how far you've come, however old you are, even if you're nearly 60 like I am. Look how far you've come, and look how much further we have to take you. There's so much more waiting for you. It's never going to end. We're always unraveling. We're always here to support you. And when you get to the edge of the rainbow, you've come under ceremony's wings. You've come to the edge of the rainbow. And when you're just about to take the step off and fly and look at just, oh my word, what a beautiful world I live in. What a beautiful world I've created. You are stepping into pure sunlight, utopia. When I met Utopia, she was just up in the sky, and I'm like, why won't you come down and meet me? Why won't you come down? And she was like, well, I can talk to you from here. And I'm like, well, yeah. She says, I will never land on the earth the same way again, because I'm over it. I've overcome it. I've unveiled it. I can see what's going on. I can feel what's going on. I still have my feet on the ground, but my heart and my whole aspirations are so much bigger and better than that. I will never be stuck being told what I can and can't do. I will never be stuck with all the stuff that sticks humans in the same place. I will always be flying high. I will always be in good humour. I will always be in touch with the spirituals. I will always be in touch with the rest of my dragon team from up here. I will not be going down into the swirl and getting stuck in the mud. She is in the portal. She's in the dragon portal. She's inviting you in through the dragon portal. She's allowing you to see that there's a vortex, there's an energetic vortex that you can be part of. These are the dragons that I am constantly in touch with, who want to guide you, who want to have you have your way with the world, have the world working for you. So this is every single thing that I have experienced so far with the dragons. What the dragons have done for me is amazing. I was trying to sell my house here in France when they guided me to come and live in France, and I'd created this, the home detox box, here we go. When I first came to France, landed in France, 1 month old baby, didn't speak French, just had bought a house, didn't have a way of earning money or a job, and I'm like, oh, I came on an adventure, and I'm suddenly hitting earth now, hitting the ground. I'm thinking, actually, what am I going to do? I mean, I need some help here. I need some ideas. What is it that I'm going to do? And I was guided to create this home detox box, which sent me on a huge trajectory, massively opened up my intuition, massively opened up so many different aspects to life that I didn't know. I've always been interested in the mind. And from then on, the dragons have just been guiding me, This home detox box and the retreats that I run to connect you with your soul and your dragon and everything else, I still do them in the south of France. And this has been my major earnings for the last 20 years. Then I became a body whisperer. I was like, but I don't know anything about that. Then I became a reading for business, and I was like, I don't know anything about that. What the dragons always respond is, it's not you that does it, it's us. Ah, right, okay, well, yes, I have connection with you, therefore I can use the connection that I have with you to do the readings, to do the body whispering, to do the business readings. When I was creating the cards for the dragons, these cards, I was like, okay, I have all these messages, they're absolutely amazing, but I can't find anyone who can be the artist. Please help me. You know how to do this. Please show me how. And I said, is it this artist? No, it's not that artist. Is it this artist? No, it's not that artist. Is it this? No, it's not. Fiona, stop looking. We will show you. Like, how will you show me? I was getting frustrated. I got this impression, just keep looking straight ahead. Stop worrying about it. It's out there. We will get it towards you. So by the end of the day, when I came to close off my computer, went through my feed, there was an artist. I was like, but it doesn't do anything about dragons. So I asked, is this the person that you want me to contact to do? Yes, I got. This will be the artist for the dragon eyes for your cards. Okay. They're the same. When I was trying to sell my house, the story I started to tell you. My partner and I had separated. My boys were now 6 and 7. And I was like, how on earth am I going to sell this house? My partner's already left. He's already living somewhere else. I'm living in this house, but it's my job to sell it and raise the kids. Okay, how am I going to do this? I started speaking to the house, and she's like, change the carpet on the stairs, get this painted. I'm like, well, I've done all that. Now what? So I was sweeping up in the garden in the front yard one day, and I got this image, boom, in my head. Make a sign. It's a white sign with a stick and stencil, just write on it in black, telephone number and a vendre, which is for sale in French. I was like, but nobody comes up this road. How on earth am I going to sell my house? So I started negotiating and arguing with the message that I'd got. Anyway, I did it. I went into the garage, found a piece of wood, painted it white, found a stick, and I girly tapped it on with a nail on a stake, and found some black stencils and a black pen, and I did out my telephone number and a vendre. Put it outside the front gate, and I went, done it. I said, can't see that it's going to work, because this is a track, it's a farm track that just goes up to a dirty farm up the road. Nobody lives up this road, it's just holiday homes. Every other house is a holiday home. Hardly any houses up this home, go straight into the mountains. Anyway, so I kind of did that and went, well, okay, well, that would be fun. And then 3 days later, I was again out in the garden, taking the kids out of the car, and I got a phone call, and there was somebody outside my gate, and they said, we want to look at your house. And I'm like, okay. I said, can you come? No, we're going back to Paris. We've just looked at a house up your road, but we're going to Paris at the weekend, later on today. We need to be there for the weekend. Can we come now? And I'm like, okay, can you just take it as you find it? So these guys, they came in, they had a look at the house, they looked around, they wandered around the house. I said, look, I've shown you everything, just take your time. I'll make a cup of tea. They looked around the house again, they looked around the house again. We sat at the table and they offered me exactly what I needed, what was on my list of what I needed, even to the type of people that I would like to buy this house. Talk about Raphael, talk about the details. And that was it. I sold the house. So this is how the dragons have helped me. I mean, they help me with so many weird and wonderful things. If I can't see the end of a needle and I'm having to do some sewing, put a button on, as I'm like, do you know what, I can't see this, but you can. Can you put the thread for me? And they will put the thread through the needle for me. And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and then as soon as I ask, they will do that. So there's something for you to try. I'm talking in January all about how the dragons have helped me manifest. I've got heaps of stories, and this is the book that I was asked to write. All these stories of manifesting or changing things around. How I got rid of sciatica that I had in 9 months, and I got rid of it in like under a week once I did what they were asking me to do. The dragons are super powerful. They want to show you how powerful you are and support you through every single thing that you go through as a human, so that you know that you're not on your own. If the dragons are calling you, if you've had dragons coming through in your meditations, you're being called. You're being called to do something absolutely phenomenal. I would love to have you along on this next masterclass that I'm doing all about manifesting, and show you exactly what they're able to show you, what they're able to hear and teach you, and what they want you to know about yourself, what they want you to know about how to bring your soul all the way through. If you have any questions, then absolutely let me know in the drop down from this. I'm very happy to answer anything on behalf of the dragons. I specifically asked them not to channel through me today, because when they do, they all come in and they start saying, oh, say this, say this, say this. So I've specifically asked them not to channel today, but I am able to channel the dragons. If you have any questions, let me know. Very happy to meet you all. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for listening. If you're watching this on replay, please let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to have you in the Dragon Portal. I'd love to have you on the Manifest with the Dragons 2024, which is a year of the dragon, by the way. Excellent. I'm hoping that you've all enjoyed a little bit of insight into what the dragons can do. There is so much they can do, so much that I've not been able to tell you today that they can do, because there's just so much that they've done and that I've seen them do for my clients already, in ladies who are already in the Dragon Portal with me. I've got one lady who's a spiritual artist, and she's got dragons that are now showing up in her paintings. So many things. Even if you've never had a dragon appear for you, maybe just keep a lookout, because maybe they'll just start appearing. Don't just think that it's your imagination being over imaginative. Start to have a belief in the dragons, because they are the most loving, caring, supportive, like I say, cosmic parents that you could ever ask for. I've spoken for long enough. Hopefully you've listened for long enough. If you want more, there's always way much more. I do have my own group called Practical Magic, which is all about allowing the dragons to come in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the dragons for listening. Hopefully you've been infused with some dragon magic. And remember, they're here for very, very practical things. Again, thank you very much.